It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
My womb is an empty nest. It's got me asking storks if they accept prayers or payment. Which bird do I call? Maybe it was the pigeon I shooed away or the crow. Dead on the curb, I deemed too diseased to touch, that carried my dreams of motherhood to its grave. But I have seen her. Brown eyes and dimpled smile. The daughter I always thought would be existence, be a joke I never found funny. The punchlines leaving bruises, looking like baby blues, got me questioning reality. Like how every day I breathe a child I'm never actually lost. Bury the pain deep in my coffin heart, but never a body, no, never a body. But somehow, she still haunts me. Let me tell you a story about the boy who cried gun, even though there wasn't one. The thing is, everyone believed him. They said the wolf howled at the white moon too loud, or maybe he whistled. That part isn't clear. But when they pulled him out the river, it was clear he was a sheep they tried to wrap in wolf's clothing. At another time, it was a girl who cried gun, and this time, it wasn't a gun either. It was a taser, and it was in her own hands. Little Red Riding Hood reached into her basket of tricks, and somehow, she was the one shot. Couldn't seem to get the story straight, or the weapon, or the apology that came after. But anyway, it was the wolf's fault. It always is. And another time, again, the boy cried gun, and this time, he was almost right, even if it was just a toy gun. I wonder if the wolf used it to play cops and robbers, finally got to be sheriff, called for backup, and got robbed of his life. They say they couldn't tell that the wolf was smiling, just that he showed his teeth, and that was enough to believe they were in danger, feared for their lives. And another time, yes, another time, the boy cried gun, and the village saw 46 shots hit the wolf's body, or Goldilocks enters the wolf's apartment, makes herself at home, cries gun. Funny, breaking and entering is not the crime here. Do you see how it never really adds up? It just keeps changing. When you are the wolf in the story, there is no happy ever after, no once upon a time. This is not a fairy tale. Last week, I heard the boy cry gun, and I felt my body tense up, hair stand on end, salivating at the thought of making it home safe. I imagine this is what it feels like when a wolf faces a silver bullet, right before the bang. But I know it is up to the village to tell the story. So you, any of you, tell my story. Tell them that the wolf was really just a girl, and the moon was really just the moon. When the cop yells gun, y'all better make him prove it. Afraid of all the trauma I faced in this life. I think of my Uncle Bud born blind, and I wonder if maybe he didn't want to see the injustices of this world, or those born deaf, if they thought the screams for freedom were far too deafening. It seems we carry more than babies in our wombs, which is to say, I am pregnant with grief. I carry lonely in my uterus as if it only belongs to me. I feel it grow and kick, remind me of its presence. I often wonder if it is too late to abort the pain, pray for a stillbirth. I wondered how many times an elephant had to swallow fear before it became a fetus. If it looked at its tuskless daughter and wondered how she would fight back before realizing she wouldn't have to. How they could not change the world, so they gave birth to a new one. I cannot change this world, but I'm afraid there isn't a new one coming. Recently, I learned that teeth are the only part of the human body that cannot heal itself. And I hate that. Because my family is a set of teeth. We've been building dental records instead of family trees. You see, my mother was a wisdom tooth. She never quite fit in. She never quite fit in the pain I felt when she took up space. I never realized she was only trying to grow until God plucked her from the gums of my family's smile, leaving space. My family bracing onto a memory to hold itself together. At night, I feel us grinding against each other, swallowing blood that tastes a lot like pride, biting our tongues as if apologies would fall out if we opened our mouths. Everything leaves a stain on our ivory relationships. I try to brush it off, but it seems if you ignore it, it will only get worse. Grief is a cavity we can't seem to get rid of, no cap. When I was young, I tried to tie myself to a doorknob, slam it shut, and remove myself. I was convinced God was really a tooth fairy, surrounding himself with all the lost tooth, calls it heaven. When your bloodline is attached to a diseased gum, you have no choice but to watch it go down the drain. I haven't spoken to my sister in years, and I am afraid if teeth don't heal, we will forever be two molars on opposite sides of the mouth, afraid to say, I love you, wearing ourselves away. You see, my family ain't never been a perfect set. We've just been good at shining on the outside like veneers, while dull and rotting underneath. We've been building dental records instead of family trees. Something for you to identify us with after we're gone. The problem is, we ain't been doing much healing, but we're still here.